Today, we will see the book back multiple choice questions. See, the book back multiple choice questions, you are having some 15 questions there. All are multiple choice questions means carries 1 mark each. So let us go with the first problem. I will explain how you can able to get that answer. Now go through the first question. Take your book to page number 73. So you have to consider the page number 73. In page number 73, you are having the first problem or the first question. Two identical point charges of magnitudes minus q are fixed as shown in the figure below. So the figure given is, you are having a charge here considered to be minus, and the magnitude of the charge is q. From here, at a certain distance, you are having a positive charge. The magnitude of the positive charge is also q. In between the two charges, see, a third charge plus q is placed midway between the two charges at the point P. Midway is here. The midpoint, they are taking it as P. At this point P, a positive charge is being placed. It is given. Suppose this charge plus q, the positive charge that is placed at the center is also considered to be plus q. Suppose the charge plus q is displaced a small distance from this point P in the directions indicated by arrows. Two arrows are along the axial line. One of the arrow here and another arrow drawn here. And two more arrows drawn on the equatorial line. One here, another one here. Along the axial line, the points are given as A. Along the equatorial line, the directions or the points are given as BB. See, suppose this charge plus q is displaced a small distance from the point P in the directions indicated by arrows. In which direction? The question asks this, in which direction the charge plus q will be stapled with respect to the displacement. 4 options are given. The first option is A1 and A2. The second option is B1 and B2. The third option, it will be stapled in both directions. And the fourth option given is, it is considered to be, it is not stapled or no staple. That are the 4 ideas given or 4 options given. See, when you are considering this positive charge will get affected either by this negative charge or positive charge. So, if this positive charge is moved along this axial line, the nature of the positive charge will get affected and so it won't be stapled. But it is not the case when it is moved along the equatorial line or along the equatorial plane. So, the reason is, if the displacement is made along the equatorial line, then the charge plus q will be stapled. This was the answer. So, along equatorial direction means one of the direction is considered to be B1 and another is considered to be B2. Similarly, here one of the direction is A1 and A2. Along the equatorial line, the directions are considered to be B1 and B2. So, the answer is considered to be the second option B, which is B1 and B2. So, when it is moved along the equatorial line, no effect is on the charge that is kept at the midpoint. So, the charge will be stapled. That we are considering it as the answer. This is the first one. What is the second question? Let us move on to question number 2. What is this question number 2? You see. Come on, go through the question. Which charge configuration produces an uniform electrical field? Uniform electrical field can be got with the help of two parallel charged plates or uniformly charged infinite plate. So from the given options, the answer is the option C. That is, if you are considering a uniformly charged infinite plane, then you can able to get uniform electrical field, or uniformly charged infinite plane can produce what? Can produce uniform electric field. Also, it is not in your book. Also, you can write with the help of parallel plate capacitor. In between the parallel plate capacitor also, you can able to get what? You can able to get this uniform electric field. This is the second question. What is the third question? See, a diagram is given and they have asked you what is the ratio of the charges Q1 divided by Q2 for the following electric field line patterns. So you are asked to calculate magnitude of Q1 and Q2. See, in the diagram, Q1 is considered to be negative charge and Q2 is considered to be positive charge. Because towards Q1, the electrical lines of forces are coming. And from Q2, electrical lines of forces are moving away. Now, you count number of lines that is reaching Q2 are going out of Q2 and reaching Q1. So first of all, I am considering number of lines from Q2 to Q1. When you are counting it 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, if you are counting it, you are getting what? You are getting 11 electrical lines of force starting from Q2 and terminating at starting from Q2 and terminating at Q1 is given in your book according to the diagram. Then number of electrical lines or number of lines going or moving away from Q1. What are how many numbers? You count, you can able to get 25 lines. So you just count the number of lines that is going out of Q2. Now we have already studied that number of lines available N is directly proportional to the charge available. Therefore, Q1 divided by Q2 is equal to N1 divided by N2, which is equal to 11 divided by 25. So I can say modulus of Q1 by Q2 equal to number of lines due to Q1 and number of lines due to Q2, which is equal to 11 divided by 25. So what is the option? The option is taken to be D. D is the correct option. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third question. Now let us move on to the fourth one. See, the fourth one is an problem. You go through that fourth question. See, an electric dipole is placed at an alignment angle of 30 degree with electrical field of 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per Coulomb. It experiences a torque equal to 8 Newton meter. The charge on the dipole, calculate the charge on the dipole if the dipole length is 1 centimeter. See what I can write. This you have already studied. Torque on an electrical dipole when placed inside an uniform electrical field. So a uniform electrical field is given. Let us consider this uniform electrical field given as E. And what is the value of E? This is the problem number 4. What is the value of E? Value of E given as 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per Coulomb. Inside this, you are having an electrical dipole. Electrical dipole means at one end you are having minus q, at another end you are having plus q, and the distance of separation is considered to be 2a, and it is inclined at an angle of 30 degree. So we can say the angle of inclination theta equal to 30 degree. What else given? It experiences a torque. So the torque experienced is given by 8 Newton meter. 8 Newton meter. Then what else given? The charge on the dipole is asked. So you are asked to calculate the value of Q. If the length of the dipole 2a is equal to 1 centimeter, if it is 1 centimeter, I can write it out as 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. Now, how you can able to get the answer? We know the formula for torque. Torque tau is equal to P into E into sin theta. Just I am writing the magnitude. What is this torque tau? I can write like this. Tau is equal to, instead of this dipole moment P, I can write it out as Q into 2A, remaining as it is E into sin theta. Now, from this you calculate the value of Q. What is the value of Q now? Q is equal to torque tau divided by 2A into E into sin theta. Substitute its value. What is the torque? Torque is given as 8 whole divided by 2a is 1 centimeter, that is 10 power minus 2. Whole 2a is the length of the dipole, so 10 power minus 2. Multiplied it with electrical field 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per coulomb into sin 30. What is the value of sin 30? Sin 30 is 1 divided by 2. So I can substitute Q is equal to 8 divided by 10 to the power of minus 2 into 2 into 10 power 5 into 1 divided by 2. So here this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So what will be the answer then? Answer will be 8 divided by what it is. Here you are having 10 power minus 2, here you are having 10 power 5. So in the denominator you are having 10 power 3. Taking it to the numerator, you are getting the answer as 8 into 10 to the power of minus 3 coulomb. When you are removing this 10 power minus 3, I can write the answer as 8 millicoulomb. So the charge available in the dipole is equal to 8 millicoulomb. So what is the option? The option is B. B is the answer. The option B is taken to be the answer. Any difficulty? So an one word problem, an important problem based on the torque experienced on an electrical dipole. Okay, let us move on to the next one. What is the next problem or next question? Let us consider the question number 5. See, what is that question number 5? It was considered that there are 4 Gaussian surfaces are given below with charges inside the Gaussian surface. Rank the electrical flux through each Gaussian surface in increasing order. So lowest to higher I have to go. So the 4 options given are: the first option, capital D less than C, less than B, less than A. Option B given as A less than B equal to C less than D. Then option C, C less than A equal to B less than D. Then option D, D greater than C, greater than B, greater than what? Greater than A. These are the 4 options given. What is the problem? See, the diagram is given. First of all, they have given an surface and representing that surface as A. Inside that, they are having a charge represented as plus 2Q, and this plus 2q is enclosing another surface, and this surface is represented as B. Then here they are having another charge represented as minus q, and this minus q is enclosed by another surface, and that surface is represented as C, but this surface is having another charge taken to be plus q. Then they are having another surface represented like this, and this surface they are taking it as D. So they have given 4 Gaussian surfaces. In that 4 Gaussian surfaces, we are asked to calculate the flux, and we have to arrange the flux in terms of what? In terms of increasing order. First of all, let us consider the flux. See, we know that flux is given by the formula phi is equal to the charge enclosed divided by epsilon 0 according to Gauss law. According to the Gauss law. So according to Gauss law, the flux available is phi is equal to q by epsilon A. First of all, I am calculating what is the flux available for the surface A. Flux available for the surface A means then we have to calculate what is the total charge in that surface A divided by epsilon 0. What is the total charges available in surface A? Surface A includes plus 2q, minus q and plus q. Isn't it? So you are having some 3 charges. Okay. See, according to Gauss law, we can say that this A, the surface A encloses this plus 2q, this minus q and this plus q. So total charge available is algebraic sum. So plus 2q minus q plus q. This we are calling it out as the total charge divided by epsilon 0. So what will be the answer? This minus q, this plus q will get cancelled. So the flux of A is 2q divided by epsilon 0. Similarly, I am considering what is the flux of B. What is the flux of B? Let us calculate the flux of B. Look at the diagram. See, the B encloses what? Let us consider. Flux of B is equal to charge available in B divided by epsilon 0. What are the charges available in B? In B you are having plus 2q and minus q. So the total charge is plus 2q minus q divided by epsilon 0, which is equal to, the answer is q divided by epsilon 0. Similarly, what is the flux available due to the surface C? It is the charge enclosed in the surface C divided by epsilon 0. What is the charge enclosed in the surface C? The charge enclosed in the surface C is minus q and plus q. So I can write minus q, here it is plus q divided by epsilon 0. So the total flux available in that surface C is 0. Similarly, you calculate the flux at D. Flux at D is total charge enclosed by the surface D divided by epsilon 0, which is equal to, see, surface D encloses only the charge minus q, so it is considered to be minus q by epsilon 0. See, out of this 4, which one is the least quantity? Flux available for D is the least value, because that is considered to be what? That is considered to be negative. After that, this value is found to be less than that of the flux available for C, because it is 0. Then next one, the flux of C is found to be less than that of flux available for B. So I can write phi of B. Then the greatest value is considered to be the flux available for A, because it is 2q divided by epsilon 0. So what is the answer then? The answer is, or the option for the answer is A. A is the option. This A is the answer. So we can write the option as A. Clear? I think you should have understood this. So this is question number 5. Similarly, let us move on to the next one. What is the next one? Come on, question number 6. Look at your book and read the problem or read the question. What is the question? Which one is, or what is the question number 6? The total electrical flux for the following closed surface, which is kept inside water. Here also they have given the same concept, but here the medium is not air, but the medium is considered to be water. The diagram given is they are having a beaker inside which you are having what? The beaker inside which you are having water, and inside this you are having an surface area or a sac which is having some charges. The amount of charges available is, here you are having minus q, here you are having plus 2q, and here you are having plus q. And the given is the relative permittivity or dielectric constant of water is given as what? Is given as 80. What it is asked? You are asked to calculate the total flux that is available. What is the flux available for this closed surface which is kept inside water? See, we know that the electrical flux available, phi of E or phi, is equal to Q divided by epsilon 0 if it is air. But it is and some other medium, so I am writing it as epsilon. But we know that the permittivity of the medium epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 into epsilon r. Therefore, the flux available phi or phi E is equal to Q divided by epsilon 0 into epsilon r. What is the value of Q? See, inside the sac or inside the closed surface you are having minus Q, then plus 2Q, then you will have plus Q whole divided by epsilon 0 into epsilon r is 18. Now you see this minus Q and plus Q will get cancelled. So you are able to get a 2Q alone. So phi of E, electrical flux available, is equal to 2Q divided by 80 epsilon. Again, you can simplify. This 2 and this 80 get cancelled. So you get 40, which is equal to what? Which is equal to Q divided by 40 epsilon. So therefore the answer is the electrical flux phi E is equal to Q divided by 40 epsilon. So which one is the answer now? The answer is option B is the answer. Clear? Hope you should have understood this. Then question number 7. Let us go for the next one. Question number 7. Come on, what is the question number 7? Two identical balls having the positive charges Q1 and Q2 separated by center to center by a distance r. If they are made to touch each other and then separated to the same distance, the force between them will be. Let us consider the 7th one. See, two identical conducting balls. So one of the spherical ball is here and another spherical ball is here. Two identical balls separated from center to center, and it is separated by a distance r. One is having the charge Q1 and another one is having the charge Q2. Now, if they are made to touch each other, so this is, we are taking it as before contact. Then what they are doing? They are making the two spheres to come in contact. Then again they are separated into what? Again they are separated to a same distance r. This let us consider it as after contact. What they have asked, what is the force here? And we have to calculate what is the force. Let us take it as F dash. what is the force here, and we have to compare F and F dash, whether both are equal or greater or lesser. See, in this case, if you are saying the force F is equal to or proportional to Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. If you are taking, for example, if we are considering Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q, since they are identical in nature, then I can say F proportional to Q square divided by R square. But here, when you are considering this, you will be able to get what? After making these two get contact, you will be getting the total charge available will be Q plus Q. So the total charge will become 2Q. So when you are separating, see, actually when you are considering Q1 and Q2, then it is also considered to be Q1 plus Q2. When you are separating, and after separation, if you are calculating F dash, this F dash will have a greater force than that of F. Because when the two identical charges are joined and when they are separated, the charges available here will be different, because we have separated the two. Here you will be having another one of the charge Q1 dash, and here you will be having another charge called to be Q2 dash. Then if the charges separated are higher, then we can say that F dash is greater than that of F. Usually we will be saying that in general or in nature. In general, or we can say in nature, the value of Q2, the second charge, is always greater than Q1 into Q2. See, when you are applying here Q1 into Q2, since the value of Q2 is always greater than Q1 into Q2, we can say F dash is greater than that of F. So what is the option? The option available, the option is considered to be C. That is, after the charges are separated making contact, the force will be more than that of the previous force. That was the concept. This is question number 7. Then which one we are calling it out as question number 8. See, let us consider the question number 8. Come on, go through it. See, question number 8. Rank the electrostatic potential energies for the given system of charges in increasing order. See, the 4 figures are given. The first figure, you are having a positive charge, then a negative charge, having a separation as R. The positive charge is considered to be here Q. Here it is considered to be minus Q. This is option. This is A, diagram A. Diagram B, again you are having 2 charges separated by the distance R, but one of the charges is considered to be minus Q. The other charge is also considered to be minus Q. Then the third diagram, you are having 2 charges separated by the same distance R, but one of the charges is considered to be minus Q and another charge is considered to be minus 2Q. Then the fourth diagram, you are having 2 charges separated by a distance 2R. One of the charges considered to be Q and another charge is considered to be minus 2Q. What they have asked, see, potential energy should be arranged in increasing order. Potential energy should be arranged in increasing order, ascending order, increasing order. How we can able to do this? See, we know the potential energy between 2 charges epsilon is given by the formula 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 into Q2 divided by R. So we can say this epsilon is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to distance. So, for the 4 cases, let us write or let us calculate the potential energies. What are the potential energies for the 4 cases? For the first case, let us consider it as epsilon 1 proportional to, let us leave the constant. See, q and minus q. So, you will be getting minus of q square divided by r. Similarly, what is epsilon 2? Minus q, when you are multiplying minus q, you are getting plus q square divided by r. Then the third one, epsilon 3 proportional to minus q minus 2q. So you are getting the answer as minus into minus plus. So 2q square divided by r. And let us consider epsilon 4 q and minus 2q. So you get minus of 2q square divided by 2r. One of these two will get cancelled. So we can get minus of q square divided by r. Now you compare, you will be getting 2 minus quantities which are the least. Their u1 and u4 are equal. So I can write u1 is equal to u4. That is the first one. Then this u1 and u4, this is the least. After this, which one is the least? One is q square by r, another one is 2q square by r. So q square by r is less. So is found to be less than that of q square divided by r, means it is u2. Is found to be less than that of u3. So in your book they have given 1 is equal to 4, less than 2, less than what? Less than that of 3. So which one is the option? The option of the 4, out of the given 4 options, the answer is considered to be option D. D is the answer. Because 1 is the least. After that, 1 and 4 are equal. That is the least value. After that, the second potential energy. And after that, the third potential energy. This we are taking it out as the question number A. Question number 8. So let us stop with this. And in the remaining problems or remaining, we can see it in the next video. Thank you.